Hello, hello everyone. Good morning. How is everyone today? Sorry for being late. I got up a bit late today and then Streamlabs decided now is the perfect time to go ahead and update the software. But at the end of the day, it's my fault. I should have kept stuff updated. Welcome, welcome everyone. Okay, what do we have here? Let's mute you. Or we can do this and then up the volume. Cool. All right. Paul P, do you know any good websites that have SQL or Python questions related to data analysis? Thanks. Definitely, I would recommend HackerRank. They have good SQL questions. LeetCode has a couple of good Python questions. Any site where we can practice? I know Kaggle. Yeah, Kaggle would definitely be the ideal one, but and then SQL Zoo is another great one. Yes. Yes, Datacamp is another great website to practice. If you're at all interested in Datacamp, I have a affiliate link over here. It's a great way to support the channel. It doesn't cost you any extra if you're at all interested in Datacamp. It's the same cost to you. Let's see, which one of these videos was it? Let's see. Copy link address. Oh, wait, no, it's going to give me that weird YouTube link format. So let's copy this over here. Datacamp affiliate. So I went ahead and put that in the chat over there. If anyone is interested in Datacamp, it's a great way to support my channel, and I do like the tool. Jose Antonio Jimenez, if I'm studying data science as if it was a job, like from 9 to 5, how long would it take for me to be interview ready? It's a difficult question, right? It really depends on where you're at right now. How much do you know? How fast do you learn? How much coding experience do you have? Like, a question like that is something that I can't really answer because, it's so dependent on you personally. And I think, Ed says he makes a good point up here. If you're like studying hardcore, there's only so many hours in a day you can actually be effectively focus and stuff. What's your education level? A lot of those questions matter, right? So a lot of those types of questions don't make sense to ask anyone without a lot more context. Joseph Lee, hello from Australia. How's it going? Housemate tested positive, so everyone's in the house in quarantine. Stay safe and healthy. Damn, dude, I'm sorry. Well, best luck to you and stay safe. Yes. Afonso Denise, welcome. Uzo Dinma Okafor. Hello, Shashank. Trying to use dbeaver connected to MySQL server as a SQL for projects. Having issues uploading CSV files because it takes too long. Have you tried chunking it out and doing it in chunks and stuff? How big is your CSV file? Because at a certain length it might just be too long, honestly. But otherwise it could be an issue of shit. Whoops. Open up my blinds. Oh wow, the weather's excellent today. And excellent weather in Seattle just means that the sun is out. Let's see. JJ, good morning. Hello, good morning. Barth K. EM Budit, morning. Kirith, morning. Wei Hong, great to see you again. Daksh Bhatnagar, great to see you again. We are not live coding today. Did I didn't put that in my... Yeah, no, this is just a normal... This is just one of my normal Q&As. We're not doing live coding today. What do you know about KNIME, Angel? So I used to use Alteryx back in the day, and my understanding is that KNIME is kind of like an open source version of it. It is, I've heard it's a great tool. I haven't seen it used in industry all that much, to be honest, but I have heard it's a great tool. 1 minute and so many comments. Hello, Natalie. Hello. Yes, I love it. That's exactly what we want. Mike Preston, how do you deal with dummy variables? I have demographic variables. I'm trying to build an election model that factors the region/state as a county it's in. So I normally use one-hot encoding. I find that that's the problem is you get this feature explosion. So I normally use the get dummies method from the pandas library to go ahead and just create one-hot encoded variables for everything, especially with something like that where you'll have multiple counties and you can't just have a binary thing. So do you know any site to learn as a bioscientist? Learn how to be a data analyst? I would recommend my excellent video on the data scientist or data analyst roadmap. Let me see if we have it over here. It's linked in the description below, but We also have it over here. Data Analyst Roadmap. Control V. Nice, Robert. Good morning, Anoop. But Jorge, hopefully that video I just linked will help you out. Abhishek Sharma. I hope you're doing well. I have an assignment for this job, and it's supposed to be done in Power BI. It involves a lot of work with CSAT. I can do it in Python, but I don't know BI. CSAT. What's CSAT? Oh, customer satisfaction. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, no, yeah, I know that, yeah. A lot of work with customer satisfaction. So Abhishek Sharma, do you have to do it in Power BI? Can you do it in Tableau? Because I have a Tableau course that, is fairly easy to follow along. And if you know Python, then these BI tools will be fairly easy for you to pick up. I'd recommend taking like kind of a crash course if you can, and picking it up should be fairly easy. Kushukla, hello. How to master my data science journey? I'm a beginner. Also, I'm from India. Have you checked out my roadmap video? That will give you a lot of tips on how to master and how to like where to go. Would you recommend Datacamp to learn the basics of Python, SQL, and Tableau? So I'm background, I'm a third-year accounting student trying to get into data analyst. So Zidane, I would always recommend check out my roadmap video first. My advice to basically everyone, check out my roadmap video first. It answers like 90% of the questions that I get. But check out the roadmap video first. And then in that video, the reason that video is so useful is because I link to all my other courses. I have a Python course, a SQL course, a Tableau course, an Excel course, and a stats course, all linked inside that video. And those will give you a good base to start off with. After that, I would recommend, like, Datacamp is a great tool. Like, quiz yourself, like, see, do you have enough knowledge? The benefit that I had was that I was in the workplace already. So when I learned Python, so I was able to just start applying it to projects immediately. But if you don't have such a luxury, then Datacamp can be a great way to practice the skills. And if you want to use Datacamp, I have a link in the description, or I have a link in the comments below. That might be very helpful to you. Ayub, thank you so much. Maria Angel Reyes, hello. In terms of projects for your resume, would you value variety or depth? Always depth. I will basically never value quantity of any kind over in-depth projects. In-depth projects are always better. Yeah, great question, Bilad, but always in depth. It's a lot better. Because think about it this way, right? Like when you're going, what does a project do? Recruiters don't look at your projects. They're too busy to look at your projects. They only look at your resume. The whole point of the project is when you go to the hiring manager, right? The person that like it would be hiring you, then they look at your, it gives you something to talk to them about, right? You can be like, oh, hey, check out this project that I did. And you can talk about it, right? And you can't talk about 5 different projects, right? You can only really talk about one in the time that you're allotted. And so that's why depth is always more important than variety or quantity. Really, one good project is better than 10 okay projects, or one great project, I'd say. At the end of the day, you'll only have time to show the hiring manager one. And no recruiter's ever going to look at your project. But because it's not really their job. Their job is look at, your resume. All right, what else do we have here? Jose Antonio Jimenez, thank you for your input. I have finished a beginner course in Python from MITx. Nice. 5 years experience in banking as an analyst, but I've never used SQL, mostly Excel. I think I learned quite fast. That's awesome. In that case, see, what's your education? That's really important. I don't think you placed it over here. I can't answer a question like, how long it'll take you, mostly because I can't give you an accurate answer because I don't know anything about you. So what I would say is that roadmap video I gave actually has all the stuff you do need to learn. And then after that, you can probably make a better prediction than I can about how long it'll take you to learn it. But that'll give you the list of all the stuff you need to learn. Cyan Karmakar, do you make any MySQL videos or any channel recommendations? I don't do MySQL specifically because, once you learn one SQL, it's all basically the same. There are like slight differences between the SQLs, but from a data analyst perspective, it's like, from a data analyst perspective, it's basically all the same. So, all right, I'm actually pursuing data science and AI. I came across your channel. Awesome, Kirit. That's awesome. Great to hear. All right, so we have a couple of things I want to show you guys. What do you generally consider, Amanda Mariano, how do you determine what a good R squared is? Overfitting? Overfitting would be one way to do it. Generally, it depends on the context, right? Like, usually anything above 0.7 is considered pretty good, and anything above 0.9 is considered potentially too good. Those are like kind of like the rules of thumb, but it really depends on like what you're trying to fit, honestly, which will determine like how like close that correlation needs to be. So, why does Google teach us R instead of Python in their course? I don't know. I don't know why they teach R instead of Python. It oftentimes is just it's a pedagogical. What's the word? Pedagogical. I think it's pedagogical. Pedagogical. Huh. No, wait. Pedagogical. There we go. Anyway, it's a pedagogical decision, which one people decide to, which one they decide to have. Did you automate your YouTube comments? I'm seeing updates tied to your YouTube handle. Oh, awesome. That means that people are they're pretending to be me in that case. Well, wait, so Onajite, could you like point to an example? You've made it on YouTube when people try and impersonate you and sell a crypto scam course on YouTube. That's more important than the YouTube 100,000 subscriber plaque these days. When scam artists try and use your handle. Any advice on storytelling with data? I love writing and looking at dashboards, but I don't know how to start on my own. Ayub, great question, and actually a tremendous segue into something I wanted to show you guys anyways. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. So actually, I am partnering up with these guys over here. Let's make this a little bit smaller. There we go. So I'm partnering up with these guys over here, Lighthall. It is a tremendous tool, and their whole thing is it's kind of like Zoom for Classroom, so it allows like bi-directional communication. And I'm doing this live course on the 26th at 9 a.m. PST, which is it would basically be 40 minutes from now, whatever time that is, your local time. So be sure to join this course. It's a live course I'm doing where I actually will teach you guys, let's see, storytelling with data. I will go through this book chapter by chapter, not line by line, but chapter by chapter. We'll create visualizations, and I'll be calling you guys up on stage in order to like be like, okay, now you show me your visualization. Now you show me your visualization. You guys can ask me questions directly, like over video or even like over chat, and I can answer them. It's basically a significantly better version of a live stream. It's a great platform, and the course is completely free to you guys. So complete transparency, I get paid a flat fee plus a commission per person that attends this course because they want to market the platform. But the course is completely free to you guys. You guys don't pay anything for it. So go ahead, go to the link below, sign up for the course. It's a great opportunity to for actually all of us, right? Because I've always wanted to teach like live, and it's a great opportunity for you guys to actually like question me directly. You know, we'll be going through this book. No matter what level of data science you're at, or even if you're not interested in data science at all, Storytelling with Data is one of the best books out there for making sure that the visualizations that are presented at the office or in any situation are effective and well made. And it has a lot of great advice for anyone at basically any level of experience. So I highly, highly, highly recommend signing up for that course. I'll be doing it, I think it's next Saturdays when I'm doing it. So the timing of that course is such that I cannot take... Yeah, and I'll have a recording available, but I highly recommend anyone that is able to attend virtually, because it is a, what do you call it? It is a live course. Yes, of course. Okay, wait, so this is, Jeffrey Mountford. I recently got an email offering a data analyst position. Okay, so Ronak, I'm going to have to... ban you now because you're spamming the channel. So just as a heads up to anyone that spams the channel, I immediately just knock them out because we don't need that over here. We have a lot of other questions that are people that are like waiting their turn to get their questions answered. So I recently got an email offering a data analyst position, but it seems like it's shady because they're charging $700 for training. Yeah, no, companies can't charge you for training. F them. Don't take up that job. I don't know if it's illegal for a company to do that, but no legitimate company charges you for training. Yeah, great question. No one should be charging you for training. Like it's the company's responsibility to train you, or to just put in the job description we're expecting pre-trained people. But really, the onus on training people is on the company, in my opinion. All right, where were we? Okay, Maria and Hal. Questions. How do you store big files in your computer without running out of space? I don't know if you can. If you have, well, I mean, you can have like more efficient formats, right? So, for example, like a Microsoft Excel document, like the XLSX format is more efficient than the CSV format. So that might be one way to do it. Usually, I have to just buy more storage. Honestly, at some point, if there's only so much you can optimize for. SQL databases can be quite, they can take up quite a bit of space as well. So I would say you only have two options. Either find a more efficient, you know what, you can zip up your files. That's one way to handle it. But then if you ever expand it again to use it, then, you're SOL again. But I would say you either find a more efficient file format, you zip up the files, so compress them, or you just buy more storage. Those are kind of the only options that you have. All right. Is it necessary for a data analyst to be excellent at mathematics? Not at all. Not excellent. Obviously, there's some elementary level of stats that's like, that I would call necessary, but excellent, I disagree with that. Nomon, I had mentioned this in an earlier live, but you were live coding then. How can someone get into private consulting as a side hustle? Could you elaborate on that, please? Yes. So actually, Luke Baruch has a video that I appear in. I'm actually in that video where I answered this question exactly. Let me pull it up for you guys, but I'll answer your question as well. But got to support the community, What do we got over here? So Luke Baruch, good friend. Let's see, Luke's project video. So Nomon, I recommend looking at that one. But to answer your question directly, I have wait, can you turn off the bi-directional setting on your mic? What's the bi-directional? I don't know what bi-directional. What does that mean? Pattern, gain. Does it sound weird? Let me see what I sound like. To answer your question directly, I have can you turn off the bi-directional? Yeah, I'm not really, I'll be honest, I don't know what that setting is on my mic. If anyone knows where it would be, let me know. I have one of these like blue Yeti mics. But where are we? There was oh yes, so Nomon, to answer your question, sorry. Yes, I use Upwork, and I recommend Upwork because they have this like cool setting that allows you to like only limit your clients to people looking for like US based contractors. Now, I don't know if it changed based on whatever country you're in, but more than that, Upwork also like pays a lot better, and I find it to be a lot more professional than Fiverr. Go watch that Luke Baruch video. I actually like outlined the entire process of like how I got Upwork contracts on that website. So I'm actually looking to get off of Upwork only because you guys have helped me out so much and have grown the channel to such an extent that this is like this replaces my entire consulting income pretty easily. So thank you guys so much for the support. That it means a lot, and I am excited to reach 100,000 subscribers in maybe in like 2 months. No, I'd have to release like a viral video for that to happen. It's probably like a 3 to 4 month thing, but before the end of the year, hopefully we can even get to 150,000 subscribers. But that would require me to like put out a viral video. So we'll just keep putting out content and see what happens. Let's see. 100,000 before May is happening. Awesome, MP. Great to hear the enthusiasm. Your audio is fine. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. Oh, Wokentoke, you're the Emory alum, right? Oxford and Emory. If I remember correctly, you were on the last Saturday live stream. Do we need? Oh, Sagar Giri. Do we need to learn PL SQL while learning SQL? No, PL. You do not need to know PL SQL. So for anyone wondering, PL SQL is this like interesting thing that tries to turn SQL into a coding language. I was learning that on accident on the side, but I would say it's not at all necessary. Saurabh, any books for data science and data analytics? Yes, Storytelling with Data, listed right over here. Best book in the business, and I think everyone should. I think everyone should read it. Honestly, like it's one of those books. All right, let's see what else we can answer. Okay, so this person whose name is either in Arabic or Persian. What do you think about the Google Analytics course? So if you read so everyone should read the description. Well, you should read the description of the video in general before you go on the live. But I actually list out. I answer that exact question in the description. Uzo Dinma Okafor. I didn't try chunking it out yet. Do you mean like breaking it up by rows? The CDC files I'm using have 164,000 rows. Really, 164,000 shouldn't be that bad. But yes, you chunk it up into rows and then like do it like piecemeal. What you could also do is use SQL Alchemy and Python to programmatically input the data using Python. So look up SQL Alchemy, putting data in MySQL or something like that. Tomaz. Is it Tomaz or is it Tomach? The SZ. I think CZ is the CH sound. Hi, Shashank. How can you get started with freelancing? I have experience as a data analyst. Looking at Upwork, I have no idea how to write a profile or even proposal for a job. So, okay, proposal for a job. Go to YouTube, type in best Upwork proposal for jobs. I should actually probably make a video for it, honestly, because I got a pretty good Upwork rating as well. But do that. They will give you a lot of suggestions as to how to like write a good proposal. There's a couple of like tips, right? Like one of them is try and figure out what the name of the person requesting the proposal is and write that at the top of the thing. Because when people see their name, they're like wired to like immediately spot their name in anywhere. It's kind of like, have you noticed like whenever like someone coughs, like if your family member coughs, you can like recognize it. Like if my mom coughs in a busy store, I can like recognize it, even though like it's probably just a regular cough. Your name is something like that, right? You're kind of like hardwired to recognize it and filter it out of all the noise. So go ahead and find their name somewhere on the Upwork profile. Like look through their previous jobs and stuff like that. Look through reviews that the previous people who have worked with them use, because a lot of times the reviews will spill the beans on the name. Write their name at the top of the profile, or like so write down like Lydia or to whom it may concern, because it might be like a business profile. And then if you're able to, do part of the project prior to getting the job. Now I know that this flies in the face of everything I tell people of never do work for free. But that advice is mostly because like companies will try and like screw people over and like get like work out of them for free. But for Upwork, because you're kind of starting a business, you're gonna have to do these like scrappy things in order to like get attention and get like people to come to your thing. So some of the like proposals I've had the best success with were ones where I actually like I looked at the task that they had and I immediately started working on it and did like 10% of it like right off the bat, and then gave it to the client and said, hey, here's 10% of the task. I can do the rest pretty easily. Or another one is there was a web scraping task where web scraping tasks are awesome, right? Because you can actually go do the web scraping, give them 10% of the data and say, I have the other 90% available. Hire me right now. You'll get it immediately. That's a great way to get like get your foot in the door as well. And the reason you do that is that way you can build up a good reputation on Upwork and have a good profile, which means that jobs start coming to you. That's what you want eventually. You want to get to a position where jobs start coming to you. It's kind of like YouTube channels and stuff like that too, right? Like you go look for you go look for like partners and people like partner up with you and everything, but eventually you want people to come to you. And that's kind of like the holy grail of Upwork. My name is Adam. Awesome. Adam, nice to meet you. Let's see. Oh, that's perfectly fine. Let's see. I'm learning Power BI deeply. Do I need to learn Tableau? No, not at all. They're basically the same. Well, I mean, okay, so they do the same thing, basically. They just do it a slightly different way. But yeah, you don't need to learn both unless you're looking for a job, unless the job is looking for it. Okay, wait. So bi-directional mode is perfect if you're engaged in an interview. With this setup, the front-facing microphone with the logo. Okay. He's asking is to turn off stereo to keep the sound from switching left. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh. Cardioid is the heart shape setting on your mic is probably the better setting. Oh, okay. Let's do that. Okay, so I did that. Is that better? No. You're not being a pain at all. I have no idea how this thing works. So thanks for explaining that to me. But is this better? I switched it to the heart shape thing. Steven Salgado, big fan from Colombia. Awesome. Well, great to hear it. Thank you so much for joining. Got my analytics job. Awesome. I love to hear those types of comments. Those are the best comments. Josue de Jesus Juarez Vidales, how much of what you teach us in your EDA videos you use in your work day? What else you haven't taught us? What I teach in the EDA, so everything I teach in the EDA videos I do use in a Workday. There's a lot of stuff I use in the Workday that I don't teach. Some of it because it is difficult to show. Like, for example, querying like vast amounts of data and stuff like that. I guess to your point, yeah, that's kind of like the whole purpose of this channel is to try and find those things that aren't shown and show those things. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of something very specific that I haven't shown. Dealing with stakeholders, that's a big one. I probably should do a video on that where I actually like interview someone like as a stakeholder and kind of like talk to them as if they were a stakeholder. But yeah. Awesome. That's great to hear that, number 16. Create dashboard. Create and share dashboards using. So Mel, look at Streamlit. Streamlit is kind of like in my opinion, the golden standard for making dashboards in Python, in that it allows you to do a lot of stuff, but it's not a huge pain to code up. Like dashboards are excellent because you can customize them to look any way you want, but they are so hard to code up. There's so much effort that goes into coding them up that like I question the value of the time like people spend making dashboards, just because like. I mean, sure, they look exactly the way you want, but like it basically took you becoming a web developer to do that, you know. So dashboards are great. I think Streamlit's a lot better. Like you get a lot less control over like the look of it. But in my opinion, the look's not all that important. Paula's Picks, happy Thursday. Yes, happy Thursday to you too. And she's right. Make sure you like the live stream. Great way to show support and show YouTube that this is a live stream that we need to keep pumping. As CoffeeZilla says, we'll pump the stock of this live stream. Let's see what questions I missed. Akash Bhatt. Yes, I answered this question in my roadmap video, so check that out. Cyan Carmarker, are there any websites that provide Excel problems for data analysts? I don't believe so, not really. If anyone knows one, let me know. I'm not aware of any like Excel problems for data analysts. I was thinking about my battery's at 2%. They were commenting on a different video. I was thinking about kind of making my own interview question website, like every other software engineer and data scientist out there, you know. But on that website, I would fill in gaps like this, right? Like I don't think that there are enough SQL problems out there. I don't think that there are enough Excel problems out there. So it is an idea that I have, and the basic business idea over here, right, is that the questions are free. But if you want to access that like question history, you pay for that. If anyone else has any other ideas of how I could like monetize something like that while making a section of it free, let me know, because that's kind of the method I want to go for with like future business ideas and stuff. I want like part of it to be free, but there has to be a paid option as well. So let me know if you guys have any ideas. So experts say to have domain knowledge. So Shahidul Islam. So experts say to have domain knowledge, but since I have no experience in electrical engineering, how can I find a job in DA? I think domain experience is overhyped for the beginning of your career. Eventually, yes, you will need, like, here's the thing. So I've worked in supply chains, in digital transformation, and in what do you call it? Retail now, right? Like, they're all unrelated industries. I think that the domain expertise, at least initially in your career, are a bit unrelated, and not necessary, because the technical skills are really what are more important, and then you can pick up the domain knowledge at the office, at the company you're at. So I wouldn't worry too much about domain expertise, at least initially. Where can I get raw sports data to analyze? Depends on the sport. If you want to, what do you call it? Get like NBA data. Look up like the NBA Python API. That's a great place to get it. F1 data. Look up the F1 API. There's a great F1 API. So it depends on the sport really, but there's tons of sport says tons of great data. Basically, look up like sport plus API on Google. MP, what are your thoughts about joining a startup as an internship? I think that's perfectly fine. As long as they pay you. I think that if you if you're going to do an internship, it should be paid. I don't believe in unpaid internships, honestly. Like if you're going to make anyone work, you have to pay. You have to pay them basically. But yeah, as long as they're paying you, I think it's perfectly fine. Nikita K, are there any resources to learn about data analysis in healthcare, or can you please demonstrate? You know what? I need to put together some domain resources, to be fair. I'm not aware of any, honestly. MP, what version of SQL do we need to universally know, because different jobs require different SQLs like T-SQL, Postgres. So I would recommend taking my SQL course, and just like that stuff is basically all you need to know. And then you basically will pick up the version of SQL that you need at whatever company you're at. Like the last company I was at, they used T-SQL, but at this company we use Teradata, so the SQL is different. So I would recommend just learning the basics of SQL and then like pick it up from there, basically. What else we got? Okay, it is 8:40, so we have a couple more minutes. Ezra A. Hey man, you've got a great channel, very informative, and it's growing by the day. Thank you. Have you heard of eCybermission? I have not. What is eCybermission? So AP, if you are confused about where to start, check out my roadmap video. I have it linked in the description below. It is the best video. It's the best roadmap for data analytics on YouTube, in my opinion. It's the most in-depth one out there. So I highly recommend that one. Vipul, how deep should we go into SQL? It depends on what your job is. Some jobs require a lot of SQL. I'd say like my SQL course honestly has like more than necessary for an entry-level person. And you just want to get more proficient after that. What else do we have? Trying to see which of these questions I can answer most easily. Could you explain Jeffrey Mountford, could you explain union versus union null in a simple matter? Basically, a union will stack two tables on top of each other and remove duplicates. A union null will keep your duplicates. That's the big difference. The Excel notes URL, which isn't working. I get that every once in a while. I think the problem is some people, they just don't have access to Notion for some reason. Because whenever I click on the, I get these comments every once in a while, but whenever I click on the URLs, they work just fine. Yeah, I mean, it seems to work fine for me. it might be like a Bitly problem or something. Yeah, I'm not too sure how to fix that, honestly. Oh, Vinod Kumar, how frequently do you use distributions to understand data? I'd say every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. Are you familiar with Streamlit? Do you see it as a good tool to master for a domain job? Yeah, I think so. And the good thing is it's easy enough to master. Like you can master, if you know Python, you can master Streamlit in one day. So I mean, given how easy it is to master, I would recommend it. And I think it is a great tool. Mars 10. Yeah, I saw your question somewhere. Where are we? Bye, GME. Mars 10. I don't see your question. Oh, there we go. Hello, mate. So I've learned data analyzing. It looks like Python SQL, but my problem is how can I be better at knowing what to do with the data and how to learn how to analyze it? How do I find patterns? I have a couple of EDA videos, like exploratory data analysis videos, where I kind of show you like my process for like analyzing data and like going forward with it. I would recommend going into Kaggle. Go to Kaggle and then type in exploratory data analysis or EDA. And people have excellent notebooks where they kind of show you their thought process of like exploring data from start to finish. So I recommend that as well. You sent any more newsletters? So far, just got one. I have not sent any yet. I have a, what do you call it? I have like the thing set up for the newsletter, but I have to like find content that's interesting enough to actually like make it useful, you know? Does titling your live stream the same title affect your YouTube analytics? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. That might be a good point that I need to... I probably do need to like rename them, like part 1, part 2, part 3, like all the way to, you know, just to see how far they go. Sergio. What is Sergio? What was your question? I started an apprenticeship as an HR analyst, but I'm doing more HR than analytics right now. Any advice? I would recommend bring it up with your boss. You know, mention it to them. If they don't take you seriously, then look for another job. That's kind of the like short advice on that, I'd say. I'm very much a proponent if the job is not giving you what you want, just go find a new job. There's unlimited jobs available today. And what in the meantime, go ahead and just start doing some analytics on like HR data that you have access to. That's what I would recommend. Like if you're not doing the work that you want to be doing, just go ahead and do it anyways, and show your boss that, and then say, hey, can I like do more of this? And then show the value of you doing that. But otherwise, if they're not like if they're not like if they don't like listen to your needs, then you know, just feel free to leave. I'm a huge proponent of just leaving if a company's not fulfilling your needs. All right, what do we have here? MJ underscore. How do you do unit tests and personal projects? So I don't unit test my personal projects, but I do unit test my, or at least not formally, but we use GitLab at Nordstrom in order to unit test our, you know, stuff that we work on. And usually what you have to do is you need to, there's like a library that you use. I forgot what it was called, but you use that library and then you will input information. You input, what do you call it? A sample input, and then you input and then you give it the expected output, and that's how the unit tests run. And then GitLab will just run them automatically. So that's usually how we run them. Yeah, Paula's, yeah, she's saying the same thing. Yeah, if you no longer get value from a job, it's time to leave. Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, I think that making money and growing in your career are tied to you also not being too emotionally tied to the job or company you're at. You have to be willing to move. You have to be willing to, skip around a little bit. Hopefully you find a company that you really like, but being emotionally tied to a company that doesn't provide you with what you need is not it only hurts you. It hurts no one except for you. PyTest, that was it. Yep, PyTest is what we use. Yeah. Hey AP, great to hear from you. Why Velocity Ready? I'm doing my master's in data science right now in the USA. What are the skills I should concentrate on to get a good job after my master's? So check out the roadmap video. I have linked in the description below. Any question that has to do with skills can probably be answered by that roadmap video. Like if your question is what skills, etc., it's going to be answered in the roadmap video. Miguel Ovia Villamil. I want to mix both data analytics and fitness. Do you have any ideas about that, or a company that researches topics related to fitness? Yes, go onto Upwork and look up projects in relation to that. I actually have one of my clients. He is a coach in the NBA, so I do a lot of like analytics on that type of data. So Upwork is a great way to start practicing that stuff before you can find a job doing it. As far as a specific company that does it, I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. MP, when you get a job, does your salary commensurate your experience with every year you're there, or do you have to ask for a higher wage? You have to ask for a higher wage. It is easier to ask for that if you have more experience, but really, like if you're at a company, your wage should be commensurate not with your experience, but with the amount of value you're driving for the company. So if you're driving a lot of value as a young person, then you should just be you should be getting paid in that way. So. Sir, what question should I ask myself when making a portfolio? I cannot scrape you. What question should I ask myself when making a portfolio? I would ask yourself questions like, okay, what am I interested in? What do I want to know more about this? What data do I have access to? What data can I easily get a hold of? And after that, like, what would be an interesting way to look at this data? Or what is a way I can look at this data? Maybe the word interesting is sets the barrier for of entry a little bit too high. Just ask, what is a way I can look at this data? So, Drizzy K, hello. What's a good entry-level pay for a data analyst? Also listening good projects for data analysts. So it's a bit of a difficult, like pay questions are difficult to answer because pay drastically changes from region to region. And so I can say like a couple of years ago in Dallas, Texas, I was being paid about $55K starting as a data analyst. And that was a solid salary. So, you can take that information and kind of see if you can extend it to whatever region of the world you're working in. Michelle, if a company hires remotely, could they also hire people outside of their time zone? If so, how much of a time difference is customarily accepted? Really, it depends. Honestly, if you want the job enough, you can just work the company's time zones. I would say people are usually okay with like, it's Pacific Coast to East Coast that can get kind of difficult to work with. If you're just 1 hour ahead, then, that's fine. If you're 2 hours ahead, then people start to feel that. And if you're working like Pacific Coast and you're talking to people on the East Coast, that can be a bit of an issue. I would say you can also usually, in my experience, companies are, I can't say usually. It depends on the job. If you're looking for like a sales job, for example, a lot of those jobs are a lot less flexible with time zones because you have to be available when the customer's available. But a lot of technical jobs, there is no reason that a technical person, as long as they're able to attend all their meetings, can be in whatever time zone they want. So I would say with technical jobs, usually any time zone, as long as you're available for the important meetings of the day. And most companies usually will not schedule meetings at like 9 o'clock in the morning or like at like 4 o'clock in the evening. Now, for some reason, people, like I have a bunch of meetings scheduled just like all morning today. But that is also a little bit unusual. I don't know why everyone schedules all these meetings in the morning. I'm watching this 2 times. Nice. Well, I'm glad. Let's see. Why do you like data analytics? What's your motivation for the continuous learning / improvement? I like data analytics because it allows, like, I can apply it to any domain I want to. So if I want to work in like automobiles, I can do that. If I want to work in like, retail, I can do that. The motivation for continuous learning and improvement is to advance my career, basically. That's kind of like my big motivation. Hi, Shashank. How do you, Michael Wong, how do you determine what kind of data manipulation I should run to draw insights from the data? Have you checked out my EDA video? I highly recommend that, and I think that's a great place to get started. So I apologize, guys. I actually have a 9 o'clock meeting that I need to prepare for. So I am going to have to head out right now. But again, I have this live course. It's a bi-directional course where you can talk to me and I can talk to you on storytelling with data. I recommend everyone attends it. It is next week. And it is completely free to you guys. So, feel free to check it out. Great course. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining.